What's up, coaches? Coach McCray here. Another video. Appreciate all the feedback on the last one on manipulating line splits for the running game. Again, I'm not here to make money on this. I'm just want to here to share information and also to get because I've gotten a lot of information from a lot of people sharing stuff online. So I want to put some stuff out there to help other coaches win some football games. So this again, we're going to focus on the offensive line, and I'm going to talk about manipulating the 5 and 6 man pass protections versus the blitzes and stunts you'll see. Okay. So, what I'm going to discuss today is basically the man zone concept exclusively. I'm not going to talk about full slide. I think that's pretty easy, but the man zone concept. Okay. So, I'm going to look at it in 5 man protection in empty formations. I'm going to look at it in a 6 man protection with the running back against a forefront and a 3-3 with and showing how to manipulate your line. Okay. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Mike ID protection that a lot of high school it's trickling down to a lot of the high schools and how and what the center has to do and make sure this happens. Okay, the Mike ID projection happens. Okay, so a couple things that I've known for coaching for 20 years about defense, and this is what you want to keep in mind and when we go through these things is number one is, and I know it's kind of simple, is that front seven and front or six players is responsible for one gap. Okay, so every player is going to be responsible for a gap. Okay, it's pretty easy to understand that. And then also too in high school football is that if you have two defenders in one gap, that is not a good thing because usually when two defenders go in one gap, the other gap that you missed is where the other person scored. It scores a touchdown at. So defense does not want to have two people in one gap. Now, if you're in the NFL in college, you have guys that can really run and you really have some time. You can put two defenders in the gap, but mostly in high school football, you're going to have one defender in each gap, and they're responsible for that gap. Okay. So I will talk. Let me get into it and start talking about the different things that I've seen. So let's talk about the 5 man protection in the forefront and out of the empty set. So again, if you have an empty set, I'm going to draw one here. I'm going to put in the line safety, and I'm going to put the three technique, one shade here, and we'll put one backer in the middle, safety on this side, and two receivers out here with the backer in the corner. Okay. So the question is, okay, where do I, the big question a lot of people ask me in the line, and when I talk to my offensive lineman, it's like, when we're in an empty set, okay, we're trying to throw out of here. Where are we going to set the zone side to? Okay. We know where the man, we have no idea. What's the best place to do that? So how I think about it is into where my threats or my free hitter threats are. Okay. So looking at this on the 3 man side, I have 1, 2, 3 to cover three. So the chances there's going to be a threat of this coming of anybody coming off the edge on the 3 man side is going to be pretty low. Okay. And especially with the mic in the middle here. Okay, and he can't make the distance up to get over to that side without covering a gap. There's no way he's going to take a number three. So again, that's not a good idea. Where you have a chance to get somebody is on the two receiver side. You have 1, 2, 3 guys to cover two. So you can run a zone here, or you can send somebody a backer off the edge. So I always set my protection to that left side. Okay, and the reason why I do that is because of the fact is now when I have my so I everybody's so to set my zone, I have a gap here. I have my other center, my guard playing, and what I do is I have my guard help with the center here, look to a B gap, and I have my tackle take C gap, which is usually the defensive end. Okay. Now, the thing is, if they decide to send this guy off the edge and they send the blitz, now I have my guard play B to D. So he would play B gap. If there's no threat in that B gap, then he would look out and he would go to D gap and he would take that guy off the edge. That's easier than you think because again, if you have good pass pro form and good sets, he should be able to vertically kick out to this spot and maybe meet that blitzer that comes off the edge and make him go around and keep pocket presence. Okay. Also, if the defense tries to sell out, which happens sometimes, they selling out, meaning that they send the mic and they leave the middle of the field open. You can have these guys double this, and the center can come off and take that mic as well. Okay, so that's how I usually set my protection to make sure that the free hitter side is covered. Now, the only thing is, line manipulation wise, I always like that between the 3 and a 5, I like to go 1.5 here for line splits because this is usually the side where the twist comes in. okay, is win between the three and the five. So with having a good tight split there, you should be able to take that. And again, also too is if it's a tight split here, then the chances of if you have good defensive linemen, okay, now that five technique that's really good. Now with that tight split, he's probably not going to want to try to shoot inside on that. He's probably going to take the outside rush, and that's what you want him to do because that's much easier for the tackle to actually take. It's just kick vertically and just make sure that guy runs around the quarterback and we make something happen with it. Okay. So that's how we protect against a five-man protection against a forefront in the empty set. Now, what if we have a situation of a three front? Okay, so I'm going to draw up the same defense, same look, the empty set here. Okay, and I'll put in the same people. Now I got a head up here, and I got backers. Sam, I got a backer here, and I got a corner here. So in this situation, now I'm going to put a four-man slide here. Okay, and I'm still going to slide again because I got one, two, three, four guys to cover two. So the chance of a blitz is coming from the left side more than here because I got one, two, three, and potentially four to cover three. So they could send somebody here, but most of the time it's probably going to be this backer that's going to come in any situation because he's just going to be too far to run over and be able to the number three. So again, I usually try and how I usually do it is I'm try to make it tight here, 1.5, 1.5 here, and then I just try to go a little bit wider on this side and maybe go to 2.5 here, and then I keep a normal split on this side as well. And possibly even go to 3 on this, 2 to 3 on this. Okay. So again, what I have is I have a boom, I have A gaps, A gap, B gap in here, and if this guy comes off the edge and we do not see it, then the guard will take B to D, okay, and he'll go that way, D to D, and he comes out and he'll take the guy off the edge, okay. So again, that would be the good opportunity for you, opportunity, okay, and that would be the opportunity for that. And like I said, if there's any type of blitz, remember there's only gap. So again, if this guy comes off the edge and they try to send this guy in A gap, now the center is going to come off and take that A gap and should be able to take that guy with this guy here. The only one we're not going to be responsible for is this backer on the right side. If we slide the line, he hits B gap, that's the one we're going to be in trouble. But the thing is, if we run a slant right behind it or some kind of route, then most of the majority of the time he's going to be open. Okay, so that's how we would do it against a five-man protection. Okay, so now what if we have a situation of a six-man protection? Okay, and we're going towards the one technique. Okay, so again, I'm going to put this is a normal defense here, and I put a 4-2 front in, and we're gonna go to the one technique. Okay, and I'll put a backer on the opposite side so we can see that. So what is the advantage of going? So there's always been the ad. Should I slide my zone to the one technique side or the three technique side? So there's some advantages to both. Okay, I feel. So that what I say for sliding my zone to the one side, it gives me an opportunity for the guard, like I said before, to play two gaps. Okay, and that's important. I can have the guards play two gaps. So again, boom here, and he helps here, and then he goes B, and then he comes out for D. And this guy is still here if this guy decides to come off the edge. Okay. Second factor is okay is now what I have is now the running back has easier time to pick up blitzes on his side. Okay, it's much easier to come in and just take your guy in A gap because you're right there. You just fill that A gap immediately. Okay, and this guy's here. Now, if they decide to come buddy off the edge, it's also much easier to take a guy off the edge because these two guys are going to slant inside. Okay, so the two outs, 3 and a 5 are going to slant inside. So they'll have plenty of space for that guy, for that running back to come and meet that guy and make him go around and have a set pocket. So that's the reason why I like to go to the one side, and also too, if there's any type of twist in here or anything like that, I have my run between the three and the five. I have my running back to help and take clear any of that stuff up going forward. But so if they decide to do any kind of twist inside too, he can also help on that right side because there's not too many twists. You can send this guy inside, coming outside, and then, like I said, we can definitely be able to take the running back will definitely be able to help on that side as it sees fit. Okay. So what about the side if you go the opposite side? Okay. So what if you go to the three tech side? So again, I'm put a shade here, three and a five, and a mic here and here. Okay, and then another backer here, and I'll put a guy off the edge here, and then I'll usually two by two. So what is the advantage of going this side? So again, if you have really good defensive linemen, like elite D linemen, okay, you can take hit you're zoning towards that side, you're zoned towards that side. Okay, so again, now you don't have to have him one-on-one with the guard. Now you have a situation of you slide, 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 slide. Okay, now every gap is covered, so if he decides to go inside and do a move, then the center can help him out and make sure that he's got his situation taken care of. Okay, you just have much better look on this. Okay, the only problem with this is this. Okay, now if they decide to do a situation where this guy decides to come up and he tries to come off the edge and the tackle doesn't see it, okay, you're gonna have to have the center play A gap to D gap, and he can play it that way. Okay, that's a little bit of the college way of doing that. Okay, you can do it that way. And again, split wise, same thing. I'm going to go 1.5 here, 1.5 here, and I'm probably going to go at 2.5 here. And then on the single side, I'm going to go three and a half here or so. Okay. So again, and that's one of the big advantages, be able to take care of D linemen, any kind of twists up front with the four-man slide. You should be able to take care of any twists between the three and the five, the one and the three, or any situation like that. Now, the other situation is, okay, so what is the other advantage of it is I feel the advantage is if you like to release the running back. Okay, if you're going to release the running back, it's easier to release the running back in B gap because then he can get out to this edge right here and he has a spot. If you release him sometimes in the A gap and these guys don't bail, these backers don't bail, then you don't have your check down. So I just feel like you put him in a better situation because this guy's rushing up the field, okay, and now you're in a better space to make sure that you get something, and this guy is bailing on the hook to curl area, so now you have probably like 3 to 4 yards of space where the running back can actually work. So again, running back RB release releases. Okay, so again, it just gives you a better opportunity to that if you do decide to do it that way and run towards the three technique. Okay, so again, you really the good thing about going to the three technique side, it works. It helps you against elite defensive linemen. Okay, and you have your zone against those guys, and then your running back can release to the outside and put yourself in a good position that way as well. Okay, so last one I want to talk about again is what if you have six-man protection versus a 3-3-5 front. Okay, so this is a pretty popular defense. Okay, if you don't have really good D linemen, you like to hit the gaps and all that kind of stuff. So again, when I have my back here, I have a four-man slide. Okay, so what I usually do is I have them responsible for stacks. Okay, and also too is I have a 1.5 split. I'm going to keep this at 2, and I'm also going to be 1.5 here, and then I'm going to go 3 right here. Okay, and the reason is because this is 1, 2. I'm going to have these two guys responsible for this stack. Okay, and he's taking a gap, and if this guy comes, they're both responsible for that stack. Then there's on the right hand side, same thing. Now this is 3 and 4. You're going to be responsible for this stack to the backer. Okay. But here's the question. You're in 2 by 2 and they try to send this backer off the edge. Okay. You can still play it the same way you always have and have the guard go B to D. Okay. And the reason is because, again, if you have it done it that way, what you can do is if this, you got a five technique here, what I would tell my tackle is a jump set or a short set right on this five technique here. Okay. So if he tries to slant inside, I'm going to take him regardless of anything. Okay. Now, if he comes off the edge, okay, again, remember, he's going to have to go inside to take B gap and he has to take C gap. This right side inside backer, he can't come off the edge himself, or he can't come into B gap because then they'll have two guys in one gap. Therefore, he would have to shoot A gap. And that's where the center would come in and be able to take that. And now all of a sudden, this guy has now become a guy he can't go. He's going to have to play coverage. Okay. So again, by knowing exactly, knowing that each guy has to take certain gaps, then you can take advantage of that and have that guard play B to D even in that situation as well as you go forward. Okay. Now on the front side here, on the front side with the running back, okay, he's going to be responsible for. We have a jump set. I usually like to have my tackles jump set that five and make sure he doesn't cross his face. And if he's going to take inside to out, and he's going to take that inside left inside backer, okay, and he's going to take the outside backer. Either one decides to come. So again, in the three front, by sliding the whole offensive line, you still can play that B to D kind of idea to make sure you take care of everything as you go forward. Okay. And then the last one I wanted to talk about before we get out of here, is the Mike ID. Okay, so this is something that's kind of been trickling into high school football a lot. In the six-man protection. Okay, is you have the center, you have the three technique, you have it doesn't matter which side it is. Okay, and then you have this guy and you have this guy here. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so the idea is basically that we're just going to ID which one is the mic. So I'm going to say this is 52 and this is 29. I'm going to say the backer is going to be 16 and this is going to be 29. No, sorry, 28. Oops, put 28 there. Okay, so again, all the center has to do is ID where the mic is. So if he does 29 as the mic, that means it's just the slide is going to be to the right. So we all slide to the right. Okay. And we slide to the right and we make sure that we take care of this guy. So if he blitzes anytime he blitzes an A gap or he does some kind of inside twist blitz or whatever, okay, that's the guy we're going to be looking for. We're going to take care of in our pass protection. And then then the back on the other side is going to take the opposite. Okay. And he'll take 52 to 16. Okay. That's pretty easy. So what if we decide, and the great thing is when you have Mike ID, again, I really like it. It just puts a lot of stress on the center. Okay, the center, if he decides to go 52, he wants to make that guy the ID person. That means we're going to slide our zone side to the left. And now all of a sudden this guard has B helps to the center. He's got B, and then he comes back and plays D. And then this back, he's on the left side. It doesn't really matter. He's going to do a quick poke fake, and he's going to take an A to the outside, and you have man here and man here. Okay, so again, that's what the difference with the Mike ID is. That's where you slide your protection to. Okay, and your zone side is just going to move that way. All right. So again, it puts a lot of stress on the center, but now it just changes all. It makes it much easier. You don't have to have separate calls for each protection and things like that. It makes it much easier for you guys to do, but it does put a lot of stress on the center. So you need somebody that really knows what he's doing to get in there and do it. Okay. So again, with that, okay. So what if you send a guy off the edge? That's the big question. What if they send a guy off the edge? Okay, in the Mike ID. I'll put a 2I here, it doesn't matter. So again, the quarterback sees that they walk up 28. Okay. And so what he can do is then he says, okay, he can call it off and so he's gonna Mike ID 28. Okay, so Mike ID 28, that all it means is that everybody looks out to the right and it's like, oh, we're gonna have to slide our protection. So now the guard tackle is gonna slide out to 28. The guard is gonna slide out to the end, and the center is gonna slide out to the three. So, anyways, it's okay because if this guy comes off the edge, both three and the five are slanting inside anyways, because you don't want to have two guys in one gap. So you have to do that. So again, and now if you have a shade here, and this guy has a one technique, and this is my guy, I'm going to slide and take him here, and then I look for anything that comes off the edge here, anything else that comes off the edge. So again, my responsibility now comes 29, 52, and 16 for the back. All he has to do is look for 29. If 29 comes, then I'm taking him. If 52 comes, then I'm taking him, and it's 16. So again, if they send all three, then we're all in trouble anyways. But again, that's how the mic ID would look based on the look. So again, it's definitely a different style, but again, if you can pull it together and really get your offensive line to really understand it and let your young kids understand it, you're really going to have good offensive lines over as they get older. They're really going to be able to understand a lot of things and really be able to seamlessly transition into a lot of the college kind of football. So again, this is my take on a lot of the stuff in terms of like how to manipulate 5 and 6 man protections to put yourself in a good position. Again, the most important things is understand the defense and what the defense is trying to do and where the weak links in the defense are and where the free hitters are, and you can put your offensive line in a good position. So again, I appreciate all the opportunities at times, and I hope this help you guys win some football games. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I'll do a couple more videos as we get closer to the season just to help people out in terms of more offensive coordinating, things like that. So appreciate all the time and thank you and hope you have a great day.